Hi everybody, welcome back. Formerly known as Ink Stitch and nowadays known as the Craft Nook Emporium. Yeah, let's start. I have been gone for a while. I believe it's been maybe 2 years since my last video. There's no really specific reasons for it apart from, you know, life gets in the way. I have changed jobs 2 years ago. I was on some medications for my mental health and stuff, so it's kind of everything just piled on, and so yeah, I've been gone, but I thought it's a good way to come back with a WIP parade as we're going into the end of 2024, and it's also a nice thing to look back to, sort of every year, to look through it and see what I've done, what's still left to do, and yeah, so I won't talk too much in the intro and we'll start with the WIPs. I have them all down here. We have a nice background, we have a Christmas tree, which I thought is quite a little nice touch, and then I'll try to put all the details on the screen, whether that's the actual chart picture, what it looks like, because a lot of them are sort of all over the place, or whether I have any pictures of my progress, where I've been, where the piece has been the last time you saw it, and we'll go ahead. I think there's a couple of WIPs missing, so you know, I know it's not all of them. There's a thing two missing. Clearly I'm not in my old flat, so things are still somewhat in boxes and things, so I tried to collate as much as I can, but I think there's 2 things missing. So I'll probably start with my biggest WIP, which is from Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's in a sort of super duper large frame that doesn't even fit in on the screen. It's in my scroll frame, so I'm just going to take the cover, which I got from Etsy. I'm pretty sure it was on Etsy. Now, it's taken me some time to do what's here already. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we have the disco ball. I'm just trying to remember, does it go any further down? I think that's kind of where it stops me. Here we go. I'm pretty sure that's where it stops. So I'm trying to work down the side up here. This is stitch on 25 count even weave, 1/1, I believe, or 2/1. No, 1/1 is lovely. I sort of changed my strategy when I started stitching this. I did page by page, so I think I started in the corner, then went the next one, then went down. So actually maybe this does go a little bit further down. And then I got a pattern keeper, and that changed a lot of things. And then I started doing almost cross country. So pick one sort of color, and because also now I have a frame, before I didn't, so it's much easier with a frame to stitch cross country, because I can just keep going and keep going and keep going in with one color, pick the next color and do that. I won't do everything cross country because for me and 25 count, it's a little bit hard to see all of the sort of single stitches when these aren't single, but like these stitches, sometimes when there's only one left, it's hard to see on such a small count what's left. So I might just do sort of those stitches that I've got the most of. So let's say, I don't know, one of the blues, the one that's the highest on the pattern keeper, I'll just do that to make myself feel a little bit better that I have some progress, and then start filling in just one page, then do another color where there's a lot of it, and then again continue filling in one page. That's my strategy so far. I have not picked this up in absolutely forever. We're talking probably over a year, maybe, something like that. I'm just going to wrap it up so it doesn't get damaged, but it must be around a year. It's lovely, but Heights are very difficult to stitch, very, very hard to stitch on, and I find I need a proper setup for that. I can't just sit down on the sofa and quickly pick it up and do it. I have, you know, I have to have my magnifier, my light, and you know, the full lot. So that's that. Then you have excuse me, so I had a cough for about 6 weeks. I've been ill for a couple of weeks out of those 6, and it's still lingering. I'm sorry. The next one I believe is by Modern Folk Embroidery. Till Death Do Us Part. Again, I'll put a picture of what it would look like somewhere up here. And here we are. Oh, you can kind of see through it. That's better. It's lovely. I really like it. I'm only doing it in black 310 DMC. Now I believe this is, I'm pretty sure this is a 32 count linen by Extrude Designs on Etsy. Gorgeous colour. I still have a little bit of this colour left, and it's sort of like a very Halloweeny colour, if you like, in my opinion. Here we are. It's lovely. I do like it. I won't lie. I haven't stitched on that for a while as well. Okay, let's see. Sort of picking which WIP to go through next. Got quite a few down here. Let's have a look. Okay, so the next one. Again, I somewhat remember what's in these bags, but some of them I haven't touched for a while. I think I have not as many WIPs as everybody else. I think as a lot of people have, you know, 60 plus. I'm not on that side of crazy yet, just yet. Let's have a look. This one doesn't have anything, but I'm pretty sure this is, oh no, that's empty. I think these are just remaining flosses from something that's been finished. Okay, next WIP is by Galana, I believe, and it's a bookshelf. I will put again the actual name and all the other details. I'm stitching this with silks, sort of hand-dyed hank of silk. I don't know how much progress I've made, quite honestly. I don't think I've picked this up in 2 years, maybe more. But from memory, I think I was working on this bit here. So we are at the top of the bookcase, and that's the middle, I think. Yes, because it goes further. And so this is the left side of the bookcase. I actually really like working on this. I think it's really beautiful and the colours look great. Floss is beautiful. You know, there's nothing bad to say about this WIP. Really love it. Really, really pretty. Really, really pretty. I'm just going to show you the thread because I think it's quite fascinating actually, just to kind of see what's up. What's the actual floss. So that's what we've got. It's not really spun or anything. As I had the hank, I just shoved it in the little bag, but that's what it looks like in my bag. And then the fabric is again Extrude, I don't know if you can see it, that's Extrude Designs, 32 count Swigard Belfast, and the colour is deep red. Here we go, camera's not really focusing, here we are. Okay, moving on. This is quite nice actually, because I haven't seen my WIPs for a while because of moving and things and kind of things being in storage. I hadn't stitched for a long time, and then I started stitching again, and you know, it's kind of when you're not 100% well, things aren't like they normally are, and then you have to go back into your usual routine, it's a bit harder to go back into it, in my opinion. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is again by Modern Folk Embroidery. I think it's called Plenty of Fruits of Plenty. This was a sale, again, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I don't have a lot done. I am still at the top. Just moving my needle minder so you could see, and I've dropped the magnet. Okay, so here we are. A little bit up close so you can see. Now, I think I mentioned this before if you've been here for, you know, a little while. I'm just going to grab my magnet. I'm back. Sorry, it's taken me a while to find the magnet. So here it is. I do like it. I'm using a couple of different colours. I am using 3 colours, I believe. So we've got this beautiful, gorgeous maroon colour or magenta colour, 915. It doesn't really show up on the camera very well because I'm filming in the evening and I've got like an artificial yellow light, and obviously you've got the Christmas tree at the back. So it's not really showing up as it is in real life, but here we are. And then I've got 3847 and 3849. Lovely colours, but I do have an issue with this, and if you've been with me for some time and if you've followed me for the last, I don't know, 3 years maybe, you will know that I'm not a big fan of this fabric, and I don't know why, because there's nothing special about it. It's just a simple, I think it's a 32 count linen, which normally is my thing, but I think it's just the Q-snap doesn't stay. It doesn't stay in the Q-snap very well. So I'm wondering if I was to move it to one of my scroll frames, maybe that would make a bit of a difference. You never know. That might make a bit of a difference. So that's one of the WIPs, but again, because I haven't been loving it, I'm not, you know, removing it from my rotation. I just, I don't know. I might need to just move it to the frame that I have where I've got Devdua's part or something like that. I think I'll put it on that frame eventually. Okay, moving on, we have another WIP, hopefully. Oh yes, okay, so I think I might even have a cover photo for this one on me, and I have a feeling a few of you know of this pattern, because I feel like when I started stitching this, but again, this was a few years ago, when I started stitching it, I feel like a few different people were stitching it. I have made progress on this one. I have stitched on this year and last year, so it has been moving somewhere, you know. Here we are. It's a little bit big, so it might be hard to show, and it needs ironing and all sorts, but we're close, guys. So I have the E, I have the M, I have the O or the heart that's finished, and I just need to finish the top of this H, and then all I have left is all the bits, sort of decorative bits all the way around. Now, did it have a cover? Did it have anything at the top of it? Let's see. Oh, okay, so all I have left is all this border all the way around. Now, the thing is, I'm not going to and obviously the flowers in the middle. I'm not going to use these specific pinks and greens because they are, in real life, they are a little bit too pink. They're a little, I don't even know how to describe it. They're not to my taste. Here they are. So I think I might just replace them with something else. Maybe, again, I love that maroon colour that was in, or magenta colour, that was in Fruits of Plenty. So I'm thinking maybe I can use it in here because I really love that colour. It's really attracting me. It's really pretty. And then that will be that. But those pinks, not for me. Not for me. Then I've got another WIP which I have worked on this year. If it's in here, which it is, luckily. It's by the Cloud Factory. I have a cover here. It's called Old School is Cool. And I believe I have started this as a New Year's start maybe a couple of years ago. And again, I will find all the details. I have them written down and I'll pop them down here. And I have stitched on it this year, as I mentioned, just a little bit, just a teeny bit. I haven't cut off my waist knots, so I apologise. Fabric, I'm pretty sure, is by Barbarelle Creations. Very likely. And in terms of colours, I'm picking my own colours, just whatever, you know, feels right. Because in the chart, it's, I don't know, it's not appealing to me as much as I would want. However, looking at it now, I think I have used the exact same colours for this one. But I think for the others, I feel like these, oh, sorry, move the camera. I feel like these two are too similar and I want a bit more of that kind of funky 80s, 90s colour in there. So I might use reds and sort of bold colours, jewel colours, deep blues, yellows, and a bit more boldness. So I do have the threads as charted, but again, I don't think that's what I'm going to do. But it's a nice little piece, you know, nice, quick to stitch on. I really like, I've learnt, so a couple of years ago I finished stitching Friends sampler, and I think I might even have a video on it. If not, I'll put a photo in here. And whilst I was stitching that, I have learned how much I love stitching on things that have multiple motifs, because to me it feels like a finish every time I finish one motif and I stick to it. It means that I stick to it through the years and I eventually finish it. The same happened with the Glitter Village. It's multiple houses and I finished it all. It's framed, you know, it's ready. And I just find that I quite like that sort of thing. So this was started with the idea that, you know, it's a good replacement. Okie dokie, next we have a kit, Dimensions kit, I believe. And I do have a cover photo for it. Now, I know that, well, at least when I bought this, which I presume it still is then, it was an out-of-print kit, which I found a shop in Germany at the time that had one in stock. And I could not tell you how I found that out, whether somebody told me about it. I feel like somebody told me about it. Because I really wanted this kit. It was out of stock, and I'm almost certain somebody maybe on Flosstube commented saying, oh, there's one shop in Germany. So I can't remember if I rang them up or emailed them. They said they have it, paid for it, they shipped it. But I think you can get the similar one by different designers. So here it is. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. I have started this as my birthday start 1 year. And I do have some progress. and I plan on, I have one big full coverage that I'm so close to finishing. I believe I have 16% left. So once I finish that, and I plan to do that in January, hopefully this will be my next kind of main big kit that I'll be working on. Now again, they're kind of hard to see because of all of the tails that I've got at the front. But if I hold up a picture, and that's all I have really, what you can see. So I am in this corner here. So I've started somewhere around here and working my way up. This is where it is. I'm really enjoying this. It's stitched on. One moment. I think I'm pretty sure I have changed the fabric. I can guarantee it because dimensions come with Ada, and this is even weave. I'm pretty sure this is 32 count even weave as well. So I have swapped that over, but everything else is in threads, etc. It's all from the kit, and I was very happy to have the kit. Let's say I'm pretty sure there's a very similar design out there, but a different brand, but it's very, very similar. Or it comes not as a kit, just as a chart. Anywho, moving on. We've got, what's next? It's like Christmas because I haven't opened these in so long. It's quite entertaining actually. Okay, I know what this is. Right, let's see if I have a cover photo. Fingers crossed that I do, to save me time editing. Yes, I do. This is Beetlejuice chart that I've got from Etsy. Here's the designer. Now, with the colours, I'm just stitching with whatever I have on hand, whatever colours I already have in my stash. Fabric is gorgeous. I couldn't tell you where it's from. I might find it because I know some of you really, really want to know what fabric this is. I have a feeling this is Crafty Kitten, which is no longer a shop that's open, so you can no longer get it. I'm pretty sure it is Crafty Kitten. Okay, this is where I'm at. So I have substituted the sandworm, and I'm using like a very variegated thread that makes it into this beautiful sort of yellows and greens. I finished the dad, started on whatever this is. I couldn't tell you, you know, without looking in at the cover photo. Let's have a look. Okay, so I have this bit done and dad, and I think I'm working on Beetlejuice's boot. So that's where it's at. And if you're interested what variegated floss I'm using for the greens, and I know I have used up, because there's a lot of block stitching in the sandworm, I'm pretty sure I have used up, oh, excuse me, I dropped something. I believe I have used up 3 skeins maybe. It's by Classic Colourworks Lemon Lime. There's only 5 yards in this. It's cotton, and there's only 5 yards. But because of how much stitching is in this sandworm, and this is not even half of it, I'm gonna need to order more when it comes to it, because I have that one remaining skein. No, that's a lie. I have 2 skeins. That's a lie. We're good. I must have ordered 2 skeins the last time. Here we go, both. Okay. Next we have, let's see. Oh, I hear beads. I have a feeling this is a Mirabilia Baker's Wife. Would be good if the zipper opened. Okay. We made it. We made it. I don't have the chart here with me. I'm not sure. I took this to a couple of retreats last year, the year before. So chart is somewhere out there in my storage. Now, there's quite a bit done. I do have a little issue with this. I love stitching on it. It looks beautiful. However, I think the fabric is not very much suited for this chart, because I think her head and her chest doesn't pop. Mind you, like, the hair is technically finished. It's just the beads that are left. There's loads of beads. So once they're in, she might still pop out. I will finish her. I believe she's around 50% mark finished. And I do pick her up now and then. I do have the beads and all the threads, so there's no excuse. No excuse. Next one we've got, okay, so this is kind of a mishmash of things. It's on a fabric that already has something on it, and I believe I wanted to do a couple of different charts on the same fabric, so then I could frame them all together, and it will make sense why in a second. So the one that I am actually stitching on, I will show you the cover photo, and I do have threads. I have a feeling, well, I know I have substituted some, because I can see DMC Diamond here, which is not really in any of the charts for cross stitch. So currently I'm stitching on this little baby. It says, what does it say? Hissed off. Yes, I remember now. I have substituted the colours to go with my cat's colours. My cat is sort of brown with a bit of yellows, a mixture of creams and that kind of thing. And I do have that started. Now, I also remember that I have made a mistake somewhere in the face. As you can see, I've changed the colours. I do have a mistake somewhere. I have a feeling that it's off center, or sort of the face within the O, but I know that I have been trying to fudge it. I've been trying to make it happen, and I will. So that's where it is. And then it's just like a green. Again, it's not showing up true to, maybe it's better like this. That's more of a true color. And then on the same fabric, I'm going to do this one, which is Beg Your Pardon. And again, I'm going to use the same colors, brown colors, not the ones that are charted, but these colors here. And then there's another one, which isn't from the same designer or even the same style, but I quite like it. Look at this little kitty. I'm not sure if I'm going to change colours for this one, or I'm going to keep it the same. I'm not sure. I also, on this pattern, have something I've created a pattern for, and it's sparkly. Look. Ah, it's so pretty, because it has cry neck. And I just wanted to do like a mask type of thing. So I decided, I made the chart and I made it. Okay, that's that one. I have not touched this for a long time. Probably since the last time it was featured on my Flosstube, I have not touched it. So it must be more than 2 years ago. You'll see the reoccurring theme there. The next one is quite a well-known chart. It would be lovely if I could find, yes, I do have the cover, voila. It's this over here by Lavender and Lace. It's called, what's it called? Earth Angel. I absolutely love this, and I cannot wait to have it finished. It's one of my all-time favorites. Absolutely beautiful. Just, chef's kiss. Okay, here we are. There's quite a bit of progress on it. It may not look like to you, but to me, here we are. So let's see. It's some of the globe is done. This is really all I have done, is what you can see. And then that's the girl's arm. that goes around like this. Let's see if I can pull up the photo again so we could compare. Here we are. Lovely, really like it. Beautiful, beautiful. Again, haven't touched it for a while because I've been concentrating on another WIP that I have not shown you yet. I'll show you at the end because it's in a different room. Ooh, okay, we still got quite a few, not tons, but a few. Next one is a kit by Dimensions from the Gold collection. A lot of you know this one. It's these ornaments, Christmas ornaments. Now, do I remember which one I've started on? That's a good question. I think, which we'll see in a second, I think I'm stitching this one. I'm pretty sure I'm stitching that one. I don't have a lot of progress. And I'm doing it on the Ada that's included. Yes, I am stitching on that one. It's quite a bit on it, actually. It's more than I remember, you know? So that's the picture for comparison. So you can kind of see the outline. The sky is almost there. And, you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. Baby steps. Who needs to rush these things? Nobody. And I keep saying this to my boyfriend, that I'm a process stitcher or crafter. I really enjoy the process. For me, it's not the finished piece. You know, everybody's different. And I think for a lot of people, it's either finishing the piece and having it framed up in their home. For me, I love crafting. For me, that's my way of relaxing, forgetting about work, kind of being in my own little bubble. So yes, I'm in no rush to finish it. Next one seems to be Mirabilia, and I think this is red. Yes, okay. Now, I'm not sure if I've shown you this before. I actually don't think I have, because I started this at a retreat. I have a feeling a couple of years ago, so it wouldn't have been on Flosstube. I bought the kit from Charisse, who's also here on Flosstube. I don't think she has posted anything in the last few years, but I see her now and then at retreats, and she has, well, she had this kit for sale, and it was pretty good price, so I took it on, and I'm stitching it on my own fabric. She had all the threads and the beads, and you know, it's all in here. I'm stitching her on charcoal black linen, so it's a challenge. Okay, it is a challenge. I've got quite a little bit done, I'm not gonna lie. She is progressing. However, the last time I stitched on her would have been last April at Mirabilia retreat in 2024, so this year. Yes, it's still 2024. In 2024 April. And the last thing I remember is that I made a mistake, and the whole time I was stitching on her, I had to fudge it. But it's not visible, and it's in a place where once I've finished that little bit of stitching, that's done, and I'll move on to the rest of the dress. So I will never, it's not going to impact the rest of the piece. Ta-da! I have a lot done, guys. And I've only stitched on her at retreats. I'm thinking, cut that out. I didn't start her this year. I did start her last year at the same April retreat, and then I continued stitching on her this April. That's right. So I sort of just mainly concentrated on her at the last two Mirabilia retreats I've been to. Here we are. She is beautiful. That's her dress. So the mistake I made, I believe, is somewhere around here. Now, if I show you the pattern, so I'm working up here, and I think it's this bit. Is it this bit? I think it is. Yes. So the mistake I made is somewhere around here. So it's kind of only impacting this bit. So the rest, if I start correctly, it'll be fine. But I know that it has taken me a little while to get on track. Forget about the mistake, and I'm pretty sure the mistake is somewhat in the blacks as well, so it's not the end of the world. I know it, and I absolutely love this. I've seen this stitched before by somebody in real life. I'm not sure who. Maybe it will be somebody at the retreat. Love it. It's beautiful and definitely want to make progress. Maybe it might just be a retreat piece and I might do that at the next retreat. I don't know. Okay. Moving on again. Okay, so this one is by Barbara Anna Designs. This design was so popular in about maybe 2018, 2019. Just having a look, when did it come out? I don't think it says anywhere. Anywho, here's the design. And I'm really slowly working on this one. Really slowly. There isn't much progress because in the last 2 years I've not touched it. But I do love it. It doesn't mean that I don't love it. I adore this and I will stitch on it. It will happen. Here we are. From memory, I'm using called for colours. But where the brown is, I think I have used more threads than I did for everything else because of the polka dots. They were showing through the scissors. So I think I did 2 over 2, and once I finished I thought, nah, it's still showing, so I went with 1 thread all over again, all over the stitching, just to cover that a bit more. Beautiful, love it. One day it'll be finished. One day. Okay, swiftly moving on. I love that some of them have the cover pictures. That means I don't have to edit that much, but some of them, they're long time lost into the world of Netherlands. Okay. Oh, okay. So this next one, it will no longer be a WIP because I will not stitch it. I had this since 2018, so 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, almost 8 years. And I just can't understand the chart. It's so, I love it. I do love it. I might change things and so this is Jan Lin kit. I've started with this little house in the corner. And my plan was just to start and just go down. But I'm just thinking what I might do. I'm not going to pull that out. I'm just going to leave it as is. Because it's hard to pull things out. I might just stitch these as singular ornaments. Like this kitty here, and this kitty here. Because they are the ones that I really like. Everything else is a bit like, meh. Could go without, so I think I might do that. So, you know, for now it's a WIP, but it will become a different kind of WIP eventually. Okay, here we are. I do like the fabric. Again, fabric is by the Crafty Kitten, which is no longer trading. And here's my little house. So I'll do it on the same fabric, just do a couple of ornaments and that will be it. Because it's really hard to understand. And I'm going to try to show you what I mean by saying hard to understand without actually showing the chart for copyright reasons. The design is actually by Sandy Orton for Cooler Design Studio. So I'm wondering if I can find like an online like PDF version that might be easy to read. I mean, it's not end of the world. I think it's the backstitching that I'm just going to show you a little bit. I think it's the backstitching that throws me off, and because it's so tiny, I'm doing it on tiny fabric, it just I'm finding it really hard to see what I'm doing, so I'll have to have a think, but there will be time for that. Oh my goodness, we going through it, we close, guys, we are very close. Okay, now this next one I will no longer be stitching on it. However, I will be restarting it. It's one of my all-time favorite charts, and I absolutely adore it, and I would love to have it hanging on my wall. This is the one where I think, yes, I want to have this up on my wall. Now, it was one of the charts that I started years ago, again, maybe 2017. I have it written down somewhere. Around end of 2017, beginning 2018. And at the time, I wasn't stitching a lot. So, and I just had like 10 years of no stitching. So when I was a teenager, I stitched, then I didn't, waited like 10 years to restart again. And my stitches just look horrible. And you guys are so lovely, and you always comment that it still looks lovely and it's still beautiful, and you can't see it, but I can. To me, those stitches don't look right. I pulled out a bunch of stitches, tried to restitch. I also made a couple of mistakes when I started somewhere here, so that meant the entire piece had to be squeezed in. I had to take out like 2 rows from the middle. It's gorgeous, by the way. Here's the designer name, if you can see it. It's a Russian designer. I believe I bought this on Etsy. This is Totoro. I don't know if any of you watch Studio Ghibli films. I love it. And it's a shame because I do have... oh, excuse me. Goodness me, I have a lot done. Like, it's almost finished. It's almost finished, you guys. Just looking at it, you know, like, to you guys it may not look as bad, but to me it just doesn't look right. And I have pulled out, I've pulled out all of these stitches here and redone them, and I still don't like it. Can you see how bulging this is? I think I used too many threads over something. There's some mistakes up here. I added some beads to cover it and all sorts. So I'm going to redo this. And I'm not getting rid of this. I'm just, you know, going to bury it. Give it a little funeral. It deserves. So it's no longer a WIP, but I will definitely restart it. And as I say, I'm a process stitcher. I love the process of it, so I don't mind it. And at the time when I was stitching this, when I started, again, I didn't have the pattern keeper and stuff, so it was a little hard to do it from the printed chart. So yes, now it's much easier. I'm definitely going to do it again. Am I going to do it on the same fabric? This fabric was like a dove grey Lugana. No, Brittany. This was a Brittany even weave. I think I'd still like to maybe do it on... because this one's on 28 and it's quite a good size. If I did it on 32, it would be a little smaller, and all the details are so small already. So I think I will do it on 28 count with 3/2. Not sure about what fabric I would do it on. I quite like it on the grey. Might actually even do it on the same fabric. Who knows? Moving on. Famous words. Okay, next I have Disney Dreams. Now, I don't know, because I have printed like my own copy, working copy for this, and the kit is not in... the rest of the charts aren't in here. So I think it might be in a different, in the actual kit package. Actually, that's a lie. I do have it. Do I? No, that's just threads. I think it's in a kit package. It's Disney Dreams Cinderella kit. I'm stitching this on the Ada that was included, which I believe is... You know what? I was going to say it's 18, but I think it's smaller than 18. I'm all in the little corner, so haven't worked on this at all. Again, you only have a printed chart, so it's kind of hard to work on. I'm not giving up on it. I will stitch on it, just not right now. You know, not right now. Okay, we're almost there. Excuse me. Okay, next one again. I've not worked on this for a long time. Long time. We're talking, I think I only started this, worked on it a couple of times and that was it, but I love it. It's this gorgeous Star of Christmas by Bella Filipina. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I got this as a Christmas gift from my granddad, maybe 3 years ago. Well, he gave me the money and I bought it, so it's his gift. Now, couple of things about this chart. And I wish I'd known that, and I will tell you why. I had a beautiful fabric, which in theory, based on the size that it states here at the front, which is 172 stitches width by 402 stitches height, my fabric would have been perfect size for it. When I started stitching it, I realized that this stitch count is incorrect. So if you're doing this chart, I recommend opening the chart and counting yourself, because what they have done, I figured it out, they left out these little bits of snowflakes or what have you at the bottom, so they're not included in this stitch count, which means my fabric is just a tad too small. And I know it's not the end of the world, and I can kind of cut off this star here to kind of make it shorter and these bits here, but I was so annoyed. So annoyed. Anyway, I do like it. I like the actual chart, and I have the smallest of starts. To be honest, I couldn't tell you where is the top and bottom. I wouldn't be able to tell you, but here we are. That's that. Oh, as I say, I've only stitched it a couple of times. And I will again at some point, just not right now. Okay. Right, we are getting close to the end. Right, this one, we're going to have to pause. I'll see you in a second. Thank you for waiting. It was on the floor. I've shown this before. I don't think I have a cover on hand. I'm just checking. No, I don't have the cover on hand, but I will insert a photo because it's gorgeous. The chart is called Bernardo Noel, and it was published in a magazine once upon a time. And I have made progress on this because I've been stitching this with my local stitcher group. Well, within my local stitcher group. And here it is. The man itself. He is beautiful. Now, I know I have made mistakes, which aren't visible, obviously, because they're so minuscule. But I made a mistake somewhere in the beard. And I started the beard and I went up, then I did the face, then I did the hat. So that the mistake I made meant that I needed to put an extra row of brown in his hat, but it's all good. It's just a thicker sort of trim there, but he's beautiful. He'll have a lot of backstitch, and there's a lot going on around him. There's sort of black work or gold work, if you like. No, it's black work around him, and he's just beautiful. He's just really, really beautiful. Can't wait to have him finished, and I would have him framed as well because he's beautiful. Why wouldn't I? Okay. Oh, right. Oh my. We are getting towards the end. The end is near. Next WIP, I don't have a cover of, so I'm going to post it up here. And again, I haven't touched it since the last time, I think. It's this way around. Again, couldn't tell you where's the top, where's the bottom. It's a bit hard to see. Fabric is beautiful, gorgeous colours. Here I am. So some progress. It's really, really small, and I think from memory that was my, not a problem, but why I haven't really touched on it that often. But I do love it. It's beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I will stitch on it because I said so to myself. Okay, put that away. I love how I've just realised every WIP I've touched has a needle in it. And there's me when I go to stitching retreats or my meetups, like the monthly group meetups that I've got locally. Was, oh, I ran out of needles. Does anybody have a needle with a bigger eye? Or, you know, always the same problem. Okay, next one is this over here. I kind of have a cover of it printed, but it's not a full cover because it was a sale, so I'm going to insert it here. It's by the Witch's Stitcher. Cryptid sale. I'm far, you guys. It's, you know. Oh, we're not missing any WIPs. I just found another WIP along with this one in the same bag. Yes, we have all of them. Whoop, whoop. Well happy with that. I wondered where it was because I have quite a bit of progress. Anywho. Here we are. I love it. I'm not gonna lie, it's beautiful. Now, I have made a mistake. Famous words. Where did I make a mistake? Somewhere. I think I'm a bit too low over here. But yes, I am. So what's happened? This square is a bit too low. So that means that, well, what it means is that it doesn't really ruin anything because I can, luckily, I don't have the bottom border done. So what that means is all other ones, I'm just going to do by one down, a little bit lower. And yes, there will be a larger gap, but there's like skulls in the gap, so it's not going to be visible. And I haven't got the bottom border done, so that means if I do it one low, it's not going to get too close to the border because I don't have the border. So this is one of those times when not doing the full border pays off. Here we are. I do love it. It's beautiful. I started this when it just came out, and I have been really good actually keeping up with it and doing it as it was coming out, and then, you know, just didn't. And in the meantime, I think another one of the cryptids or supernaturals, is it called Supernatural Cell? Maybe. Another one got released. Excuse me. So a lot has happened. A lot has happened. I'm doing it on all called for threads. Oh, is this the same fabric? No, it's not. I thought it may have been the same fabric as Till Dev Do Us Part, but I don't think it is. I wouldn't be able to tell you what fabric this is. So I'm really sorry. I don't think I can. I don't think I've got it written down anywhere nearby. Nope. No, but I'm pretty sure if you really wanted to know what fabric it was, I may have mentioned it before in one of my videos, because this has been a WIP for a long time. Finally, no, actually, we've got 3 more. Okay, I'm going to show you my latest start now. I don't really know what to do with this because I have made a mistake and I need your advice. And I need to ask my stitcher group for advice as well, eventually. Here's the kit and the chart, what it will look like. And this is where it's at. Now, can you spot a mistake? I'll give you a minute. Just look really closely. What sticks out to you? Can you see? Does anything stick out to you? Anything at all? So this is in the right place. That's in the right place, hopefully. These ones probably aren't because there's a gap here and there shouldn't be a gap. Which means because of the way I did them, in what order I did them, which I can't remember now, they all incorrect apart from this one. And apart from this one, I'm pretty sure these 2 are correct. It does mean to fix this, I have to pull all of this out, which I think is what I'm going to have to do. Because it's a Christmas tree, so it means it has to be mirrored on the other side. And yes, somebody will not notice probably because there's a lot of baubles and ornaments, so you wouldn't know, but I will. And it will really annoy me having to match the other side. Really, really annoying. Beautiful, beautiful. It's really not stitching. It's more of just needlework. Different stitches, but it's very well explained. I got a kit. Anyway, next one, which is what I thought was missing, but it is not. I found it. Yay! I found it. Okay. And I'm very happy that I found it because I'm almost finished with it. I can't believe how close I am to finishing it. I think... Okay, I'll show you what it is first. Probably that'll be useful, wouldn't it? Now, I wasn't planning on stitching this, okay? Which is this. It's Mirabilia New Year's Eve Fairy. I never planned on stitching this. I may have shown it to you before. I have stitched the Christmas elf fairy and I love it. I always wanted to stitch that one. She's beautiful. But this one, in the photo, it really doesn't do justice. It really, really doesn't. And then enabling happened. I went to a retreat, as you do, and it was on the finishes table. I bought it that same day from Zarina at Hawkins Hobbies because she still had a kit. Nowadays, it's hard to find a kit. I think you can find just the chart separately without the threads and things. But when I saw it stitched, it's the most beautiful, sparkly, it's dreamy. And I hope I can do it justice by showing it to you. I don't know if you can see how sparkly. Let's see if I can find, let's see if I can put this behind it. But it's just, so beautiful. It's one of my favourites of hers. Those wings are sparkly. There's loads of beading in her dress up here, her crown. And that skirt, just look at it. Oh my goodness. It's so beautiful. It's so, so beautiful. It's not showing up on camera, you know, the way it should really. So I have that skirt left to finish, her shoes and her face. And yes, I have done her hair in a different colour by a mistake, I will add. I don't know what happened. I was stitching along, doing my thing, and then I looked at it and I was like, something doesn't look... Oh, okay. Well, I don't mind it, you know. But I don't know how that happened. Genuinely, I've never done that before. I've never done that before, but I've stitched something in a totally different colour that it's not charted for. And I don't know if I had like the threads in there and I just got confused with the numbers, or because when I look at it, I've even used different shades, or it might have been like one. It probably was actually a variegated floss, so it probably wasn't multiple threads. It was probably one thread. But it's like there was no thought process of, oh, it's in the wrong colour. Oh, this doesn't look right. Oh, I don't get it. Why it does not look... No, nothing like that. It's just one day I'm looking at it and thinking, that's weird. Something looked a little bit different in than what that was stitched up at the retreat. But it's just beautiful. If I can do an up close... Oh, here we go. That's maybe better. Oh, it's just... She's dreamy. She's so beautiful. I'm so pleased I found her. I thought I'd lost her and I just shoved her in the wrong bag. Celery. Got to make sure that I put her in the right bag now. And I do have the full kit. Now, I find with these kits that I'm left with quite a bit of floss, but this was like a kit from Zarina, and I don't know if she'd... I don't know if she put it together herself, or that's how she got it from her supplier, kitted up, or, you know, what the system is. I find that I'm left with quite a bit of floss, like with Miss Christmas Elf Fairy, or Christmas Elf Fairy. There's enough floss. I can guarantee you I have enough flosses left for another one. And I think I had it on my de-stash table at the retreat as well, because I thought, well, somebody might want to stitch, you know, the full thing. Okay, now I only have one left, which is my main project for the beginning of the year, and I'm hoping I can get it finished in January. I am so close, you guys. I have, I think, just over 8,000 stitches left, maybe 8,500 stitches left, and you will recognize it as soon as I bring it in. So give me a second and I'll see you. Hello, I'm back. It's a little hard to show you this WIP. You have seen it before many times. It's featured on a lot of my Flosstubes, Stitch With Me's and all sorts, and my Instagram, etc. And here it is in all its glory. Oh my goodness. Ugh. It's a bit hard to show you because it's on a stand, but I'm too lazy to take it off of the stand. Here we are. All I have left to do is the bottom up here. And I will... everything's fallen off. Hopefully I will find a photo to show you, but all that's missing is, oh my goodness, this is so heavy, to finish off the ground and some stones and water. But it's absolutely beautiful. Ugh, it's very hard, very heavy, oh my goodness, but it's beautiful. And I'm aiming to get this finished in January. I'm going to retreat in April, and I'm hoping Zarina's husband will be there. Hawkins got hobbies and he offers framing for cross stitch and needlework, so I'm hoping if I can get it finished by then, which I think I'll finish in January. I really want to push it. I wanted to push it and finish it by end of this year. I didn't want to drag it along to the next year, but realistically I don't think that will happen. So I'm hoping to finish it in January, February time, and then in April, hopefully have a consultation with Zarina's husband at the retreat and get it framed. That is it. We got there in the end. Oh my goodness, that was so heavy. We got there in the end. That's all of my WIPs. So I have added a few over the last couple of years. I have stopped stitching on a few, like I've said, that Totoro and Jan Lin kit with the cats. You know, it's kind of a lot of it I've touched at different points in time at retreats, meetups, etc. But I'm hoping to make some progress. Now, in terms of Flosstube, I'm hoping to do sort of hopefully like I used to, monthly updates or monthly videos, like one video a month, just updating you on what I've been stitching on. However, I have a couple of different plans for next year, which I'll share with you in case you are interested. I love how the tree's looking. I have 2 retreats I'm going to in April. One is Mirabilia retreat, which is, I think, either the 3rd weekend in April or the last weekend in April. I'm also going to Southampton retreat. Now, I live in Dorset, so it's not too far for me. So I don't have the full weekend sort of pack. I don't have the accommodation booked with it or dinners. So I booked it as day attendee for all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday with lunch. So I'll be going home and kind of going back for the day. Then I have another retreat booked in October, which is, I want to say MK retreat in Uxbridge. I believe the venue has changed. The retreat was somewhere else this year, but they're trialing out a new hotel next year. So we'll see where we are with that. That's all of the retreats I have planned, 3 retreats next year. I'm also starting 2 courses that I'm very excited about, and I'm going to share it with you right now. One of the courses is by a international creator, international stitcher. I will put the name up here. And the piece is, I'm not going to show you the piece. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. If you're interested in the courses that are offered by this particular artist, just look Facebook page, just look it up, and there's different posts about it, and posts are in English, even though I believe everything else in Russian, but some of it is in English, so or you can get it translated, no problem. And I'm starting one of those on 25th of January, I believe it starts, and it goes for 5 months. And it will be a little peacock from memory. After that, I'm doing something super exciting, and fingers crossed it all goes through, because I haven't officially booked it yet. So I wanted to learn Chinese embroidery, especially silk embroidery. So you know, you would say silk shading or using long and short stitch, that kind of thing, but this particular embroidery, I believe it's called, please don't kill me, it's incorrect. I think it's called shoe embroidery. And you may have seen it already if you follow, you know, different accounts. It's the kind of embroidery that eventually, if you become really advanced in it, it's a double-sided embroidery on silk, see-through silk. So you would use 2 needles and a thread, do it at the same time. And when you twist the picture, it's a different picture on the other side. And I will try to insert a couple of photos of what I found online. Now, I have contacted a person who lives in Australia, a teacher. Her name is Margaret Lee, and you can look her up on the internet. There are different courses available. So you have Japanese embroidery available, Chinese embroidery, I think Japanese bead embroidery. There's different disciplines that you can do. But I specifically wanted to do Chinese embroidery, and I have emailed Margaret and asked if, you know, if there's any dates coming up online, like online teaching. It's all done online, Zoom teaching. And I got an answer back. But I couldn't do, it goes from March, specifically Chinese course, Chinese embroidery course goes from March to July. I have no annual leave left in March, and it renews in April. So I would have missed on 3 dates, 3 dates that I would need to be present for this course. And I have messaged Margaret and said, you know, I would love, I'm so excited about the opportunity to do this, and I really, really want to learn, and I can't make those dates in March. The rest I can take half-day annual leaves because it's Australian time in the evening, starts about 6-7 p.m. So UK time, it sometimes happens to be dependent on the length of the lesson. It could finish about 9:30 or 10 o'clock. That means I wouldn't be able to get into work till 10:30 or 11:30. And I normally start at 9, so I would have to take half-day annual leave, which I can do, and I had it approved already. And overall it's 2.5 days of annual leave, so it's not the end of it all. And Margaret was ever so kind, and she'd offered to slot me in March in other disciplines, because it's like a group sort of thing, so you have a few students. She'd offered to slot me in other disciplines in March, and at the end she'll go through all the bits and bobs that she needs to go through with me for the Chinese embroidery, so I could make those dates, weekend dates basically. I'm very excited to start that. Extremely excited. Now, another third thing I'm going to continue with, which you may not know about yet because I've not been on Flosstube for the last 2 years. I have, about a year and a half ago, I have started certificate and diploma in technical embroidery by the Royal School of Embroidery of Needlework, RSN, Royal School of Needlework. The nearest one to me is in Bristol, and I have started Jacobean crewel work. I have a piece. I'm not showing them here because I think I'm going to do separate videos on coursework only, so on all those 3 pieces, I think. So the Jacobean crewel work WIP that I have, it's been a WIP for about 1.5 years now. It's a slow progress because you have to do 8 lessons per unit. So 1 unit is Jacobean, and next unit, I don't want to lie, but it could be black work, next unit gold work, next unit silk shading. So you have to do 8 lessons per, and it's quite a bit of money each lesson. So I had to do it as and when I had the money come in, or had a little bit of money left from something. So that's why, and I haven't taken any classes since July 2023 was my last lesson, and we are in December 2024. So I want to pick those back up, but maybe towards sort of the second part of next year. So when they restart their courses in September or August, September. No, I think it's in September. I think it's restarts in September. So I'm going to pick them back up. And I am a part of, I'm a student there. So they give you 5 years to complete all of the units. So I've got still loads of time left. So January, I'm going to start working on my, I think it's a peacock. Then that will give me a bit of time to get started on it. Then in March, I'll start on my Chinese embroidery piece. Sorry, my cat is running about. And I'll be working on those 2 simultaneously until I think they both finish 1 day apart or something like that in July. Once that's finished, hopefully I'll I will definitely try to restart RSN, or not restart, but continue RSN, Royal School of Needlework, and maybe start the second intermediate level of Chinese embroidery, because there's 4 levels. So yeah, I'm so excited. Oh, I really wanted to spend, so that's my plan for next year. I really wanted to spend more time working on my techniques, on my knowledge, on just the skill. I really want to concentrate on that, and not just, it's still for a hobby, but I do want to have the professional language. I want to have the skill, the professional technical skill to put what's in my head onto a piece of fabric. And all courses I have picked to do offer different techniques. None of those are exactly the same. So the peacock techniques use something that I believe is used in quilting quite a bit, where it's stuffing. So you put like a stretched jersey fabric on top of your linen or what have you, and you stitch around each area, poke a hole, stuff it with some stuffing, sew it back up, and it creates a really beautiful raised stump work. And then you cover it with metal threads and pulper or pelper, and beads and all sorts. And then Chinese embroidery, as I mentioned, can become a double-sided thing. It won't be at the beginning, that's a very advanced level, but it gives you all the techniques. And Margaret Lee has released a couple of books specifically on Chinese embroidery that are used in her coursework as well, and you can buy them on Amazon. So if you can't do the course but you still are interested, type in Margaret Lee books Chinese embroidery into Amazon and you will find them. And then the other RSN it gives me every skill that I might need to put what's in my head onto the piece of fabric. So that's where I'm at. These are my plans for 2025, and hopefully I'll make some progress on here. Let me know if you're still here, if you used to follow me along before. I'm sorry about a long break, but things happen and I needed to put my mental health in a stable place where I can be me again. I can be a bubbly, happy person where I can project happiness and not just bring the gloom and doom with me. So I hope you enjoy this. If you do, leave a comment. Tell me which WIP you think is the best, which one you like the best. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.